Hey everybody. Alright, this is going to be another one of my awesome videos on guitar theory, mostly for beginners. I'm going to be using some words that some people might not appreciate, so instead of using the whole words, I'm just going to hint on what they are, which will make this much easier for you to remember. These are the notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the notes that are in music. I'm not including the sharps and flats in the main thing. And if you know anything about notes in a key, you can see how we've got the C, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. You can see that. This is, if you were going to be doing it in intervals, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that would be 8, or your octave. So that's what this is all about. And if you mostly play chords, then you would know that this would be your C note, this would be a D minor, this would be the minor column. C, F, and G would be your major notes for 1, 4, and 5, and this would be the column 2 and 3, D minor, E minor, and this would be your column 6 or your interval 6 for A minor. So all of these are A minor, all of these are minor, 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 and the first column, fourth, and fifth column are your major. So if you understand that, then this video will make a lot of sense to you. So when you're playing chords and then you start to branch off into understanding lead, normally when you're doing your notes, you are only going to be playing your 1, 4, 5 and your 2, 3, 6 notes. You're not going to be messing with this column that much. You can see this is the octave column, so this really doesn't matter. But you're not going to be messing with these notes that much. So mostly you'll learn C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and that would be your diminished column. So when you start doing lead, or when you want to start doing your scales on the guitar, you realize that you need to know this stuff. You really need to know that this is not just, this isn't an F sharp. You've got to know that that's an F sharp. You can't just think that you know D, E, F sharp minor. You have, because there is no minor note on the fretboard. And there's no major note, there are no flats. You have to know what these notes are. So it's using the knowledge that you already have, but you have to extend it out a little bit. So how do you remember, that's what this video is now, how do you remember what majors or flats are in each key? Well, you can see over here how I put 1 flat, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a saying that has floated around forever: Father Charles goes down and ends battle, and that would be the order here: Father 1 flat, Charles 0, goes 1 down and ends battle. Well, yeah, that might have worked in the 1700s, but the average cool guy who's playing the guitar now is not going to remember this thing. What he will remember is, and this is where I'm not going to use the words, but these are going to be things that are going to help you remember. F, C, and B. So what you'll remember is effing, I'm not saying that word, the effing C, I'm sure you can figure out what C is, goes down and ends bon air. Totally legitimate free speech words that make this video acceptable. So effing C goes down and ends bon air. That's how you remember. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Okay, so that's the first step. But you're gonna think about this if you're playing in a song or you're taking a test. You're not going to be able to write this whole thing down. You're going to need something that's going to help you remember what's going on in each one of these keys. And so you can remember really quick where the sharps are. And that's what this video is all about. So here we go. We all know that C has no sharps and flats, so you don't need anything to remember, to remind you of that, or to help you remember. Everybody who's playing guitar knows there are no sharps or flats, because you hear it in every single video on the internet, and it could drive you out of your mind. So C, you're good with C. We don't need to cover C. Don't need to cover C. Now what men, not all men, a lot of men do not like women. Let's change that. A lot of men are not attracted to women that have a smaller upper torso, and it upsets them. And that is why when you remember the key of F, all you have to remember is the saying, I'm not going to use the word, F flat babes. Let's do that. Flat babes. So when you were thinking of the key of F, just think of F, flat babes, and you know that in that key, the only thing that changes besides all the notes that are like this is flat B. The B is flatted. So we've covered C, and now we've covered F. Now let's go on to the next one, which is going to be G. What could we come up with for G? We have a F sharp here. What are we going to use for that? What we're going to use is the word G reminds you of good. This is going to be a lot easier. Once you memorize a few of these sayings, it's a lot easier than memorizing, oh, this has got F sharp C. Believe me, my way is a lot easier. So when you get to G, think about the date that you had last night. She was a good, I think you've got what I'm saying here. She was a good, so that covers F, C, and G. Just remember the saying. It might take you a day or two to go through some of these. Write them down if you need to. And when you're sitting there taking your test, and you got to remember what is different in the key of G. She was a good. C, nothing. And you don't like flat B. That covers 3 of them. Now we're going to go on to the next one because we're rolling along. Make sure that you do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like. Go to my main channel page if you want to. Click on donate to support this channel and help me out. I would appreciate it. If you want to link this to any other website, that would be cool. That would help me out. Okay, so let's go over to D here. D is kind of interesting. Relates to the times that we're in where a lot of people, instead of saying, a lot of people will say duh. You know, like duh. It used to be duh in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like duh, D-U-H, but now it's D-A-H. So you're on a date and she pisses you off. And you go, duh, you, I don't have to say the words. You can figure it out. Duh, you, That's how you remember what changes in the key of D. See how easy this is? It's really simple. Just takes a little bit of time. You'll memorize all this. Okay, so when you tell her that, duh, you, she's going to say, going to be so angry with you. She's going to say, you are a guy. You are a guy. You know what the words are. I don't need to say them. There's a lot of ing words in this video that I don't have to use. Okay, so you memorize these sayings and you're going to be cranking along. You're going to know music theory in no time. Mozart and Beethoven are going to be so proud of you. Okay, so what do we have for the key of E? Well, we're going to swap the things around a little, but it's still going to work out the same. Because we all know that men are slime. Everybody tells us that we're trash and we're garbage and we only want one thing. So what are we going to do with the key of E? Every guy blanks sees daily. You can figure this out. It's very simple. You're going to be a music major in no time. For the key of E, every guy sees daily. You know it, I know it. And then we have only one other key left, the key of B. Now this thing, this has got 5 sharps. How in the world is anybody going to remember that B, well, you could say that, you don't have to count this. You could say everything is a sharp except for B. That would work. then you'd have to come up with some saying for big E, blah, blah. But let's do it along the lines of what I'm doing here. What we're going to do is come up with a saying for B, and then we'll be done with this video. Okay, so we've been picking on the men and how trashy we are, so let us now pick on the women a little bit. A lot of times people call them bitches, so we're going to use bitches for this saying. Bitches, F, guys, and do chicks. How easy is that? You are going to make your music teacher proud when you remember this stuff. When she says, Johnny, what are the sharps in the key of B? All you've got to do is say, bitches, F, guys, and do chicks. She's going to know exactly what you're talking about. So this is probably going to give you an A in your college music class. Hopefully you appreciate this video. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Never use these words. I didn't use the words because they're naughty. Shame on you. They're mean, vulgar, bad words that should never be said ever in your lifetime because they could offend or upset somebody. So don't use the C word. Don't use the F word. Don't use the D word, oh, naughty, and the flat B's. No, that's just wrong. Okay, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you've benefited. I've got a lot of really cool guitar stuff on here. Watch my videos like 1 billion times because they really help me out with my life. And that's all I can say. Hey, keep strumming. Peace out.